Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay,
Just give me a
thank you.
minute. I think there's some technical glitch where
That
I had a problem with people dying.
yeah, hope it is AI demo session.
Yes.
Okay, then, thank you.
Wait for a few minutes for
Sure,
join
no
and then
problem.
we'll start.
Yep, thank you.
వాళ్ళు ఐదుగురు ఆరుగురు నా ఎదురుగా ఉన్నారు మొత్తం మన తల్లిదండ్రులు ఉన్నారు కదా. నరేష్ గారికి ఒకటి
Okay, with the interest of people who have joined, let us start the session. Just give me a second. I'll set up meeting.
Yep, okay.
All right, you should be seeing a website where there is something on a workspace, agents, and a doctor designer.
Yes, I can able to see here.
Yeah. So my intent is let us not get into any presentations and we will directly jump into one of the demo of
Okay.
how do you build an LLM based generative AI application. And
Mm-hmm.
this is an example of voice flow. There's a website which is a open website where we can create workflows, where we can use workflows in sense chatbots, where we can automate a lot of processing. And we can create these chatbots which can help us to do regular activities. It can be booking of certain appointments, answering to some of the knowledge questions, or things like that. So there is this workflow. I'll walk you through the workflow, but let me quickly run a demo. So I'll run a test demo. So once I start the chatbot, it basically says that welcome to Tata Hospitals. I'll help you to schedule a meeting with Dr. Sai Kumar. So kind of took this as a fictitious example to demonstrate a chatbot which is helping us to book an appointment with a famous doctor. And the first things first, it does some calls in the backend. It tries to get some date. Then it is asking a question like, what day would you like to book an appointment? I'll respond saying that I have a bad headache, and I wish to have an appointment immediately. Okay, so I'll just say that I am having a bad headache, and then I wish to have an appointment immediately. That's when it responds saying that we have an availability on May 10th, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. So it's saying that we have this appointment at these times. Do any of those times work? I say that I need immediate one. Please book at 9 a.m. Okay. I'm just writing in a very natural language text. So it has to understand what I'm intending to say, and then it has to extract the information. If you see, it is trying to extract the selected time. It is extracting 9 a.m. as a selected time. And then after that, it comes back saying that, great, can I get your name and email address for booking? I'll say, I am Sitaram. Okay. I did not give my email address. I said, I am Sitaram. Then again, it is saying that, thank you, Sitaram. Could you provide your email address to complete the booking? Okay, sure. My email address is at some abc.com. Okay, I'm saying that my email address is so-and-so. Then it takes all the details and then completes your booking. Awesome, your meeting is scheduled. I have sent a confirmation to so-and-so email. So all the data is fictitious. So I've created a dummy email. This is not my actual email. Let us see like what's happening, right? So if I go to the top and then we follow through the workflow. Now what this workflow does is it is having a combination of LLMs. It is having the combination of backend calls, and then it is creating an application chatbot. So this is kind of creating a combination of all of those. And it helps us to create these kind of chatbots where we will be able to plug multiple things together and you will be able to create an end-to-end chatbot. The first things first, it starts with a message and tries to get the current time. So this is a backend call. You can think like, okay, this is a backend call which invokes a function call to the backend and it retrieves the current date and time. So it is retrieving the America, Toronto date and time, so American time zone. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday, and then 22:50. I think this is the time zone it has picked up. So in fact, America has multiple time zones. So this is some central time zone maybe. So then after that, it has picked. It is asking like, what day would you like to book an appointment? Then that is where here. Then it is looking for something like an utterance. Utterance is my response. So I say that I have a bad headache. I wish to have an appointment immediately. So I did not mention when I would like to have an appointment or what day I would like to have an appointment. My intent was like, I want appointment immediately, which is basically creating that urgency that I need immediately, possibly on that day or maybe on the next day. So it's on Friday, it's already end of the day, so it has to pick up the next day immediately and it has to give the response. So if you're looking at it, the AI response, it is calling a GPT 3.5 turbo model in the backend. Now, please ignore if you do not know what are these LLM models, what is this Gen AI, what is this GPT, all of that, kindly ignore all of them for now, because over the course, you will understand all the minute details, like how do we invoke a model, how do we create a prompt, how do you call it, how do you get the response, all those things we will get in great detail. This is just an illustrative example for us to understand the art of possibility. What all things are possible with creating this kind of a chatbot-like interface. But internally, we are seeing that it is calling some GPT model, and then it is coming back with an AI response that we have availability on May 10th, so and so time. So we're getting at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. And it is also asking, does that times work? So this is where the summary times comes in. The summary times is an internal function. Again, it calls the real availability of doctor. Okay. Here I have kind of made a simulative call, but just imagine that you have a backend application, maybe like Calendarly or Gmail-based calendar application, where it actually calls the application and finds out the real availability of the doctor and comes back with the availability. Once the availability comes back, you summarize those availability and you can give in a nice summarized format. Right? That's what this is doing, and it is asking that does do any of those times work, and now it has to gather the selected time from my response. So I have responded saying that I need an immediate one, please book at 9 a.m. So everything else is a garbage for it, right? I need immediate one. I want it now only. All that information is a garbage. What it is actually looking at is the 9 a.m. It has to extract this 9 a.m. because it matches with the 9 a.m., 1 p.m. and 4:30 p.m., which is already provided to the input. So it has to match with all that stuff. And then that's when it has to go into better detail. So when I scroll down, it is coming up with a rationale saying that the user has expressed an urgent need for a medical appointment due to a headache and has confirmed their preference for appointment at 9 a.m. As you see, there's a great detail of response which is coming up, because it's kind of summarizing what is the need, and it is also coming up with information on when do I need the appointment and all that stuff, right? So it's giving that kind of a clear instructions or clear information that this is what I need. So if I scroll down, it is doing all the calls. It is getting the selected time as 9 a.m. That is what it is gathering. That's the information it requires, and that's what it is gathering. So we need that selected time. And once we get the selected time, the next thing is we need to get the email, name, and exit scenario. Before collecting all the details, it is also checking whether the selected time is one of the determined time. Now, I have given 9 a.m., but imagine I would have told I need a booking at 8 a.m. itself, right? Then what it have done is it will compare with the already available times, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. And then it will ask again, saying that you have selected 8 a.m., but the only available times are 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. Would you like to select from one of those times? As you know, like I'm just trying to make it up, but probably the response will also be in the similar lines. It will try to say that, would you like to select from one of those lines? And then that is where the select determined time will basically do. And then once that is done, it is trying to collect the email and the name. Then I have again I just provided my name. So it is asking for two information, the name and the email address. So I just provided one of that information. So it first collects the email, collects the name. User has provided the first name. but not provided the email address which is required for the booking of the appointment. So it is coming up with the rationales. It's a proper reasoning mechanism. And it is saying that, boss, we only have name, we don't have the email address. Please collect email address again. So it will again loop it back saying that, thank you, Sitaram. And this is made up by the LLM. So thank you, Sitaram. Could you provide the email address to complete the booking? Then I interact and say that, okay, sure, my email address is so and so. So once it gets the email address as well as the my name, that's when it gathers both the information. So user has provided their full name and the email address, fulfilling the required entry criteria, and then it extracts both the entities, the email and the name, and then does the booking. In between this, it can call an email service as well. So here I have not created, but just imagine that we are creating an email service, SMTP email server, which basically is invoked with a proper email format saying that you are booking, hello Sitaram, your booking with Dr. Sai Kumar is confirmed. Please be available at 8:45 a.m., 15 minutes early, so that your appointment doesn't get delayed or cancelled and things like that, right? So the email, you can write a proper email which basically can give all the prerequisites and things like that. So here I have not created, but that's how you can create. Now, what we are seeing here is that in the natural language processing in the previous years, not very far, like a couple of years back, when we have to do this kind of a natural language processing, we have to do a lot of circus. We have to find out what is utterance, what is the intent, how to divide the entire sentence into parts of speech, condense the information, find out the proper utterances and all that stuff. It used to be a huge project, right? And even in that, even in those cases, it is error prone because whatever rules we write, sometimes people do not use the same rules. For example, I said, right, I just gave my name, and if I was supposed to give a very happy path kind of scenario where I give my name and email address, then it would work. But if I just give my name, again, the model has to intelligently understand that only name is given. We also need to collect the email address and get back. So creating such kind of rule-based things, right, where the model has to intelligently do all that stuff was really tough. I'm not talking very, very far, but just a few years back, we used to have these hardships. But now, thank you for generative AI, where we are able to create a lot of these real-time applications. We can create a lot of things like document summarizer. We can create our own knowledge bases. We can create question answering systems. We can create chatbots which can do a customer facing job. All the relationship managers, imagine you're taking in a banking scenario or an insurance scenario, or wealth management and different other application areas, right? So you will have these customer managers or customer relationship managers, or we call as RMs. They interact with the customers, they try to understand the requirements of the customers and then give them some kind of action as an output. So all the work of all those RMs and all those people have kind of drastically reduced because they can now complement their intelligence with these kind of knowledge bases, with these kind of chatbots, and we can use it for creating better systems, right? Any questions on what we discussed just now? Are you following?
Yeah. Sitaram, I have one query. So this
Mhm.
is the one of the IDE where we can create this type of chart board or something like that, or
Yeah. So this you can go to voiceflow.com. You will see that it gives one free account for creating one or two uh, free workflow creations, but beyond that you have to pay. So it's basically like a paid version where you can create these chatbots and then you can launch or publish these chatbots.
But this is going to be published only in the within this website only. Suppose if I wanted to integrate in one of my projects, then it has a flexibility for this one, or
So this is creating an external chatbot. You can have APIs invoked with this. So there will be an API invocation, and you can create your own external application which has its own UI and all, and can invoke these APIs for question answers.
no, my question was actually, suppose in my one of my project, if suppose a customer has a requirement that to create one of the chatbot for this type of scenarios. So it's easy for me to create this type of algorithms and the flow and everything. But if I wanted to integrate the same create voice flow in my project because of the security breaches or concerns, can I
Yes,
integrate?
yes. Yes, yes, yes. So those are real requirements, right? So whenever we come to enterprises, right, we have to have all those governance and legal compliance, security related things should be considered. That's where in our course we will learn how to build these for our
Oh,
internal projects.
okay, okay.
So if I say the first session, okay, this is the session, this is how you build it, and then the course is done, it's not done. It's just the trailer, which is basically showing the whatever is possible, right? And as you rightly asked, there are a lot of other considerations, like from a security standpoint, from a governance standpoint, how we build the application, how we integrate the application with your internal applications, and all that stuff is really important. And that's what we are going to learn in the course.
Okay. So if I wanted to build this type of application in one of my projects, so what are the prerequisites and what are the technologies I should be aware?
Yeah. So we will be learning Python for data science. We will be learning Python, then we'll be learning classical machine learning, and then we'll get into generative AI. So if you ask a language-based prerequisite, it is Python. There are a lot of libraries which we'll be learning for us to build the LLM-based applications. We will use LangChain, we will use OpenAI-based models, we will use open source models like DeepSeek, Llama, and so on. These are different models we will be learning. And then we'll see like pros and cons of different models, how to select the best one. All that stuff will be learned during the course.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Any other question?
yeah. So, Siddharth. So with that languages, Python, Pascal, the other one, AI related one. So with all those, we can implement the same kind of API in our projects also, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So during this course, is it how many months, Sitaram? May I know?
Yeah, let me open up my notebook. I'll
Sure.
just brief you like what would be the content of the course and
Okay.
how many months and what are things. So let me take a few minutes for explaining that.
So the same kind of API we can able to implement once the course is completed, right?
Yes. So you could do all that stuff. Let me share my screen. Generally, what I do is I use this kind of a blue screen, or you could say a whiteboard or a blackboard. Mostly 95% of my sessions will be using this blackboard itself. So we will understand the course structure. So I'll just be using this kind of a whiteboard, blackboard, blue board kind of a session. Where we go in a very extempore manner. It would be very interactive because as in when you ask question, then I'll be just getting onto this blue board and we'll try to explain like what we will be covering during the course and all. So first a few days, we will understand the basics of AI AI, ML, data science, Gen AI, and so on. So these are the different components we need to understand, and there is a lot of overlap. Okay, there is overlap between understanding of AI itself is blurred. There is a great overlap between what is ML, what is DS, and the newest tool in the room, the Gen AI, and also we also have something called as agentic AI. So the example, whatever we just saw, can be a part of agentic AI.
కిషోర్ గడు ఉన్నాడు తిప్పు తిప్పు
You have a question?
పోతున్నాడు వాడు అలా అవుతాడు
No,
పోనీ
something
ఫాస్ట్ పోనీ
he connected
Okay.
through phone.
Can you go on mute, please?
పోనీ పోనీ
Seems we don't have the access to mute. He did that. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So what I was saying is in the basics, right? So we will learn about what is AI, what is ML, DS, generative AI, and understand the relations between all of them and then how they are overlapping. And specifically, agentic AI, the example which we just saw is the example of agentic AI, in which we will be using generative AI along with some kind of functional calling. Imagine you can call a function for booking an appointment. Imagine you can call a function for understanding the availability of doctor. So real-time availability of doctor. You can call a function which can send an email. So these are individual functions. We can also call them as tools. And then while we are doing generative AI-based interactions with the LLMs, but we also have an ability to call backend functions or APIs. That part is called as agentic AI. So whatever example we saw today, it is a little bit tilting towards agentic AI. So first a few days, we'll understand these basics. We'll try to clear the air between all those different toolings. Then we'll get into something called as Python for data science. So Python for data science is where you will try to understand how to use Python as a language. Now, we will use Python as a de facto language. Some people do not know Python, but they might have some programming background about some other programs, like programming background like Java or C, C++, .NET, or maybe coming from a data background or from a QA background. So different people will have, they have from different backgrounds. So what we will do is we will give a basis for Python so that everyone understands like what libraries are used, how do you create those basic programs, how do you create the templatized invocations to create ML models or Gen AI models. So we'll understand the basics for that, and we will know like Python for data science will be covered in this. In this, we'll learn libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, scikit-learn, right? And then we learn LangChain, and so on. So the different models we'll be learning. So these all libraries will help us to understand like how do you do programming using these libraries. Once we have a solid understanding of that, we will get into something called as classical machine learning. Now, classical machine learning, classical ML or classical machine learning is basically the field where we try to do supervised, unsupervised, and then reinforcement learning. So there are different fields in which we do classical machine learning. Classical machine learning is where you're trying to use AI for doing some future predictions, predictive analytics kind of a thing. Um, if you ask me, 80 to 90% of the businesses are still relying on classical machine learning for getting their business ROIs, right? So they are trying to create recommended systems. They are trying to create application-based predictive analytics. They're trying to do, for example, loan-based prediction, fraud analytics, intruder detections, sentiment analysis, the basic sentiment analysis, creating recommender systems. All those things fall under something called as classical machine learning. So the meat of the business are still using classical machine learning for their regular analytical purpose. We need to understand like how those things work. So those are like, you could say, like bread and butter for the analytics industry. We will learn those things, and they also become a kind of foundation for us to understand the next phases of things. Like we will understand what is natural language processing, we will understand deep learning, we will understand generative AI and agentic AI. So, but to understand all these things, we need to have strong foundations. That's where we learn classical machine learning. After we complete classical machine learning, we'll do something called as natural language processing. In natural language processing, or the NLP, is a traditional NLP where we understand, as I was saying, right, a couple of years back, we were having very hard time to create whatever we saw in few minutes back, right? The kind of a chatbot creation of that would be really tough. So we'll understand what are those hardships, like, what is the backend process, theoretical concepts of that, so that once we have an understanding that, how do you do parts of speech division, how do you find out utterances, how do you do, create term document metrics and so on, you will understand like how internally GenAI will be working. So that gives a very strong foundation. So we'll understand NLP based things. Then we will get into something called as deep learning. Deep learning is foundational for generative AI. All the generative AI models, when you say GPT is nothing but generative pre-trained transformer, and is one of the deep learning model. So in deep learning model, we'll learn about neural networks. For image processing, we'll learn CNN. For text processing, we'll learn RNN. We'll learn transformers, and so on. So this gives a very strong foundation about getting into generative AI. Then we'll get into generative AI. So in this, we'll do all the both open source and also the closed source, or we also call as frontier. Closed source models like the OpenAI models, the Anthropic models, Gemini models, all those models, they're called as frontier models, or closed source models. Open source models are the Llama models, the DeepSeeks, and the Quen models. So these are some of the open source models. And last but not the least, we'll understand about agentic AI, where we build end-to-end applications which can invoke APIs in the backend, function calls in the backend, tools in the backend, and still use the generative AI capabilities to create end-to-end applications, right? So this is the structure of the course. So this entire course will be for 2 months, a little over 2 months, I would say, so it's starting at the start of this month. So it will be complete of May, complete of June, maybe mid of July. So around second week of July is something we're anticipating to complete this course. As we saw, we have quite a lot of area to cover. It will be on weekdays.
Sitaram, I have a question. So, because here NLP deep learning is very deeper subject. So this all the scenarios and not all the scenarios, all the concepts will be covered as part of this course.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. So in this, as you rightly said, this is a deep subject. But what we cover is applied AI. So applied AI means if I really wanted to create a project, what all things which are required, right? Both from theoretical standpoint and also practical standpoint. And predominantly, I'll try to keep the subject more practical so that we'll understand that what are the bits and pieces which we need to understand for creating some kind of models. So if you really ask me, like, if I want to go all the models, classical machine learning models, classical machine learning itself, we have hundreds of models, all the models, and understand all the theory of natural language processing, then this will be a semester course. And no one has the time, effort, and interest to get get that entire one semester kind of a course, and it is not necessary as well. What it is required is we need to understand the important things. So it's like, I have gone through this entire gamut of different toolings throughout my career. So what we will do is I'll condense all that information into more meaningful things which you guys have to learn, right? So that will give you a right direction rather than getting into the entire spread. So that is the ask.
but at least the trending algorithms will be covered throughout this course.
Yes, yes, yes. We will cover all the algorithms. It's not like we are missing out all the algorithms. And what I generally encourage is, as we are going through the course, I'll encourage students also to do their own homework, right? It could be with respect to pivoting their uh, career from one area to another area. Suppose they are in QA, they want to pivot into generative AI, data science, AI engineer, and so on. There is an effort required, right? It's not just like you do this course and then you are like now an AI engineer. So there is a certain effort. So during this 2 to 3 months, what I will generally do is I will give them the required knowledge, required background work which has to be done. For example, you need to search within your geography how many companies are there, what type of roles are being asked, what questions are being done asked, and so on, what specific knowledge we need to gain. And during the next few sessions, I'll try to brief them about what are the different roles we have, right? And if I am coming from so and so background, what is the best entry point for me to get into a specific role? So it will be a very one-on-one basic effort which need to be done, because unless until we do that, we will not be able to get it to whatever it is required. So what I generally recommend is, as they are going through the course for this 2 months, students also come back with recommended um, tools or recommended algorithms and so on. And then we'll cover them during the course. Right? Most of them will cover, but if there is something new coming up, right? So no agentic AI, there is newer MCP models are coming up. So we learn about MCP models as and when they get matured.
And also one more thing, Sitaram, because we are new to this technology and we don't know because we don't have any prior experience on the generative AI or something. Suppose if we wanted to shift our career into that field, so we need to crack the interviews.
Yeah.
So do you help us in
Yeah.
providing some questions and answers
Yes,
so that
yes.
we can crack the interviews?
Correct. That's what I said, right? So we will not waste this entire after 2 months, then we will get preparation of interview. Our preparation should start from a day one. We will have questionnaires of interview, frequently asked interview questions, and so on. That will be shared. And if required, I will work with the organizers to have one-on-one sessions. Suppose, say you are ready and you wanted to prepare for interviews, or you are already taking some interviews, then you have some questions. Then we can have more focused sessions uh, with people who are already taking interviews to see like what questions will be asked, what type of answer should be given. and all that stuff, we can schedule sessions, specific sessions for that.
Okay. And also this end of this session, that the provider will also share us the videos, the session videos, which
All
we
the
are
session videos will be shared. There will be a drive will be created. All the session videos, materials, all that stuff will be shared with you. Every day, for example, the session is done. Now we will try to figure out the batch creation, right? So after few days, we will start the batch. So every day there will be some session, there will be some code snippet. So this is a very practical course. So every day you'll have coding. So you will have that code snippets uploaded in the drive so that you can access that, and then you can practice from your side.
okay. And coming to the certification, because nowadays even the management and the companies are forcing us to do the certification, even we don't have any prior knowledge. Uh, so also please help us during the course, the certification. We need to do it so that we can get some good career path. Also, please.
Yes, yes. So the while this course is not gearing towards any of the certification, but this will help you to clear one of these. The cloud providers are providing certifications like AWS and GCP and Azure. They have certifications on generative AI engineer and AI engineer. So these kind of certifications are there. So you can crack those certifications once you've completed this course. But if
Okay.
you personally ask me, right, what I will do is I encourage people to have GitHub as their certificate. So we will create a lot of projects. Throughout
Okay.
these modules, we will have a lot of projects. And we need to create our own GitHub profile with all those projects. And then whenever we go to interviews, it's just like showing our capability rather than a certificate. A certificate is an added advantage, good to have, but I encourage people to do lot many projects, right? Come up with lot many ideas. I'll give them one-on-one guidance of how do we crack the project. Now, creating of code and project is not very difficult because using of generative AI, the chat GPTs and all, we'll be able to do codes easily. There are tools like Cursor, which will help us to do vibe coding, and coding has become very easy now. So all we need is right project direction, right idea, and creating that into end-to-end deployable application. And I would encourage people to do such kind of things and creating those projects, having them in the GitHub profile. So whenever we face interview, we can talk in a practical sense, like what we have done and what capability we have.
Got it. And also in the course, the course catalog, there are some of the projects are being listed out. So those things also be being covered in the course. That
Yes,
is
all of
okay.
them will be covered. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Then.
Those are some of the back catalog. I did not list down the ML projects. We will cover a lot of ML projects as well during the course. So at least we will have 10 projects, minimum of 10 good projects will be covered. And you can then uh, use them into your GitHub account.
Okay, sure, Sitaram. And also, please give us your details so that if anything help required from your side, we'll reach out to you after this course or somewhere.
Yeah, so you reach out to the organizers. So eventually, as we go deeper in the course, you will know about me. But
Yeah,
first things first, I will encourage you guys to interact with the organizers, get to an agreement. And as we go deeper in the course, you'll know about me, who I am, what I do, and all that stuff. Rest assured, you'll be in good hands.
thanks, sir. Thank you.
All right. So I was just saying that it is a 2-month course. It's a weekday course. I am in Indian time zone. I am in Hyderabad. So generally the course would be for 1 hour every day. So depending upon my schedule, we will be figuring out when the course will be done. But generally it will be on weekdays, Monday to Friday, my Monday to Friday, which will be if you take US timings, it will be Sunday night to Thursday night. So your Friday nights and Saturday nights will be generally free. the course would go from Sunday night to Thursday night. Every day you'll have 1 hour we'll spend, which the 1 hour also we will split in such a way that we'll have 45 minutes to 50 minutes of session, and then you'll have 10 minutes of question answers. In the end, we'll keep the question answers. If you have any questions in the middle of the session also, you could use the chat window so that you can put your questions so it doesn't interrupt the flow of the session. I'll also in between take some meaningful breaks to ask if people have any questions, and during that time you can ask questions. So that is how I would like to conduct the session. And as we see, we will go through all these materials. The material might have already been shared, detailed information, but this is the structure of the course. Right?
Yes, the timings like it's evening, morning,
I
right?
know we will figure it out, but I think it will be what we are thinking. It will be at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
ST. It will be if you are taking on a central time zone. It is like 8:30 p.m. I think it will be.
Okay. Even I'm from India, Bharat only. I'm from connected from Vijayawada.
Okay.
Even
Then it would be 7 a.m. India
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I see that.
So there will be people
Hello.
connected across the world, and different time zones are there. People connected from US, Canada, primarily, but from India also. So this will be my time zone. So according to your time zones, Eastern time, Pacific time, and all, please
Yeah. And is
understand.
there any basics required, Sitaram, to get into? Actually, I know Python, but for machine learning and other NLP or deep learning, do I need to uh, do some exercise before coming to this course? Pre-learnings or anything
Not
there?
required, not required. We'll go through that. That's what we were going through it. So we'll go through. If you are understanding Python or any other programming language,
Mm,
you will be able to grasp the subjects, whatever I'm talking.
okay.
Hey, hi, Sitaram. Hello.
Yes.
Hey, hi. Hey, I mean, like, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to ask you a quick question. So, it's like, let me say that I'm taking this course and then I'll be completing this course in 2 months, and then based on the course evaluation, so I mean, like, how many years of experience would I be getting, or like the benefit that I will be getting out from this course?
So this question is regarding like how much experience you will be getting,
Yeah.
like how many years of experience you can just put it right.
Yeah, let me put this way so that it's easy. Like, like suppose if I'm going to, like if I'm going for an interview or something like that, like based on this, the course evaluation that I had, like how
Mhm.
many years of experience can I just, place it on my resume or just throw it on the resume? So,
Yeah, it depends. Again, the answer is not direct because what I would generally recommend is we need to blend our past experience and then try to complement with whatever we are doing. If for somebody who is already a fresher, then it would be like a fresher kind of knowledge itself. But somebody who's already like a 10-year experience who already have background of say data or application building and so on, we could give like this course gives around 2 to 3 years of experience, add-on experience on whatever they already have, right? So again, so what I'm saying is it's depends. It's a very case on case basis. Depending on our past experience, we have to say like how you can complement whatever you're learning into an experience kind of a thing. So for that, I would recommend generally we will have one-on-one sessions with people who have similar kind of requirements. Then I have to go through their individual profiles, and then based on that, I can do some recommendations.
yeah, okay, sure, got it. Yeah, basically the thing is that I just completed my master's just a couple of months back, so that's the reason I just want to boost myself up. I mean, like,
Understood.
I'm just, yeah.
Yes, yes. I exactly got your question and doubt. Many people are there who are in the similar lines like you. So
Mhm.
what I would recommend is, as the course is progressing, we will have more deeper sessions where I'll talk about how to project the experience accordingly.
I have one more doubt, Sitaram,
Sure,
because
thank you.
nowadays a lot of people are saying, because a lot of people are saying that once the Gen AI comes into the picture, there are a lot of jobs will lost, because we are seeing some lot of jobs are being lost because of Gen AI, because it is making the earlier when we wanted to do some coding, it used to
Mm.
take more than 1 week or 2 weeks of time with all testing. But
Yeah.
now when we got the Gen AI like ChatGPT and other source systems, so it has become very easy. We can do the complete work in 1 day.
Yes.
So if, after learning this course, it help us in which way? That means whether the jobs will be boosted or what actually. We're not getting the correct exact things in
Okay.
outside.
See, one thing which I would like everyone to understand is this Gen AI is not going to take away our jobs. Okay, that is first thing. The second statement I make is uh, people who know the knowledge of AI, knowledge of Gen AI, will take our jobs. That is for sure. Why I say it is, for example, I was talking to one of my friend who is a senior Oracle apps developer, like ERP. He was throughout his life he was doing ERP. So he called me on Thursday. So he's around 15 years of experience, and then throughout his life he has worked on ERP and ERP based solutions, and primarily in Oracle stack and so on. He wanted to learn the Gen AI and other stuff. The reason is not because the Gen AI is going to take away his job, but the thing is that within Oracle, within the ERP systems, people are building Gen AI applications. He has strength. He has a lot of functional knowledge, and then what he wanted is like using the functional knowledge and having an understanding of Gen AI. How can he build very specific ERP based automation or ERP based Gen AI capability? So that thought is something which is very important. Some people who are all from mainframe background, people are from QA background, people are from different backgrounds. My focus will be like, okay, I understand this course, I understand all the tools, I understand all the nitty gritty details, but let us understand from our business perspective, like what is our application doing, where can Gen AI fit, and if it can fit, how can I contribute to it? So that is the thing we need to know. And if you know that, for example, if I'm just a QA engineer, I don't know anything about generative AI, Python programming, and all that stuff. But if I'm focusing on how do we test AI applications, you won't believe me. Like 3 years back, I was recruiting for people who are ML testers. Okay, that was the time when we really coined the MLTs as a new role. And there are very less people who had this understanding of ML and understanding of testing, combination of this. That kind of roles are very, very minimal. And people who have that kind of capability are going to stay. I will definitely say that because this is an evolving field, many things are happening. But once we have the capability or understanding of this tooling, plus we have our own subject matter expertise, the way we blend those things is going to sustain for a longer time. And people who don't do it, certainly they will get replaced. Imagine tomorrow we are creating a generative AI automation workflow management system, and then people who know that will be doing that work, and people who don't know, they are left behind for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Then fine. But
Right?
there was an gossip going outside that the Gen AI will replace a lot of jobs. That's the reason.
It's not. See, it will take jobs. See, eventually over the years, people are going to see. We will be doing better jobs. That's what I feel. See, I'm a very positive person. I am definitely going to identify what are those better jobs, and then how will we do those better jobs is something we need to find out, right? And the people who are finding are going to stay. And people who are skeptical about, world becoming so gloomy, world is going to end, and then I'll not have jobs, we'll never have jobs, right? So definitely it is going to take away those jobs, but who will take away the jobs? The person who knows these toolings will take away the jobs, right? GenAI will take away job, yes, for sure. Who is that GenAI? The people who know GenAI, right?
Chennai, yes. Because even we are observing the current trend also, the people like the freshers, the trainees, or the senior developers who are joining in the company, they are not giving much focus than earlier, which we used to have 10 years back. That is also one of the problem to us.
Yeah. And that's a bigger problem. So as the technology matures, right, as we see GenAI applications are being built, coding, the vibe coding is being used. So people do not have technical knowledge, but they are using coding. They will build code. But when the code is productionized, when there are bugs in that, and then we need to identify how the bugs have to be uh,
Fixed.
analyzed, and then these people don't know, right? So that
Right.
is a bigger problem. But if that problem is there, I say it is good because if you know, like, how do we crack that, and then our job is safe, right?
Safe, yeah, that's good.
I'm looking in that perspective. Definitely, people don't know basics. They're going to write bigger applications. Imagine I don't know React, but I can write a React application. There are tools like Replit, Lovable. I'm not sure if you heard it. You just go to Replit. You just type Google Replit,
Hmm.
and then it will create. It will use a generative AI. You can create end-to-end application, right? Now somebody uses it, creates application, but if it is not working as per expectation, it is giving bugs and so on, then it's a huge pain, right? And
But people should be there to understand that coding is correct or wrong and fix it.
those are
That is,
us. Those are us. We are the one who will understand that.
that's correct.
I'm saying that those are us. Like we will know like what is the depth of it. We will know what is the breadth of it. We also have the functional knowledge.
That's
So,
correct.
yes. Any other questions? Anything generic? Anything about the course, you can let me know because I thought that we will also spend another half an hour, 45 minutes on something else, but the time we had little uh, initial hurdles about getting the session activated and all. So we'll do it in the later part of the course. We'll do a few more demo sessions. Okay.
Sure, sure, Sita.
Like if anything, fine. When it will be course will be started, Sitaram. Like from when it
Pardon, can you ask the question again?
from when the course will be started, actual course.
Um, I think we will have few demo sessions this week, and probably we'll see. Like I'll check with the organizers.
Okay.
We're looking for a meet of participants to join because
Hmm.
my time is also very limited. I work full time. I work with a large banking corporation. Mostly my 2 hours in the morning is free, so that's the time I try to dedicate to the coaching.
Okay.
I myself, I'm doing doctorate in business administration and specifically, my specialization is in AI.
Oh,
Ethics and fairness is my research topic. So
wonderful.
apart from my full-time work, I'm doing doctorate. So this kind of being very close to the technology helps me to create a very stronger doctorate thesis. So that's my personal, I would say, personal agenda for doing coaching, but I also love teaching. And that is
Ethics,
the reason.
ethics and fairness means the in the IT field sector, the how the resources will be ethic to the company and loyalty, something like that.
No, no, it's like if I'm using AI application, like how fair that model is, how do you create, for example, like generative AI, right?
Hmm.
We don't have ethics and fairness and quality metrics are still not defined, even for generative AI, agentic AI, and generative AI, especially in finance. Um, those standard guidelines are not yet created. So there's a lot of research happening in that front where how do you gauge the performance of your generative AI model? Right? You are asking ChatGPT on something, right?
Nice ready.
Returning answer. Like, how fair is it? How,
12 అయింది.
yeah.
నేను ఒక 2 నిమిషాలు కాల్ చేయనా? మా బాబాయ్ నెంబర్ పెట్టినా నీకు.
Sorry, you're on not on mute.
ఉన్నారు.
Okay. Yeah, it is on mute. Go ahead, please, Sita.
So I will talk about my research area also, as and when we get time. I'll talk about what I'm doing, what is my research and all. But that's a completely diagonal topic.
Because one of our organization members has done one AI sort of research, that is when a customer comes to the project, suppose some customer comes to the company, and we propose our existing projects to the customer, and by seeing his face expressions and face modularity, we can identify that whether the customer is happy with our projects, or he is going to give us the project to us, or something like that.
Yeah,
The face something.
Yeah, that is application of AI. So we will talk about such kind of applications of AI. Those are the applications of AI. But what I'm talking is, I use the application, but how fair that application is.
Oh, after coming the result, the accuracy of the result is
Accuracy of
correct
the
or not?
result. There's that kind of measures are not there yet.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
How,
true.
how fair the model will be, how is it giving appropriate results, and then the privacy, security angle of it. All those things are not measured at this moment. We're still in research, and in the coming years, we will have some applications on that.
Okay, got it, Sitaram. Understood.
All right, guys. If you have any further questions, I'll stay for a few minutes, or else we'll
Nothing from
come
my
back.
side.
Organizers will come back to you with more demo sessions. Maybe later this week we will have 1 or 2 sessions.
Sitaram garu, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Lakshmi from Career IT. Sorry for the inconvenience that has been occurred today. Our regular sessions will be starting from Tuesday IST. I'll be sharing all the details along with the today's recorded session link. So please go through that once again, and I'll talk to you on this. Thank you.
Sure.
That's the
Thanks.
information. So Tuesday is when we will start regular sessions.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I missed. I haven't seen that I'm in mute. I haven't muted myself.
That's fine.
I had to attend.
That's fine.
Thank you.
All right, guys. If you don't have any questions, we can disconnect. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddha.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sitaram.
Good
Thanks,
weekend.
everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.